Prosecution has rested in the Lindsay Clancy trial. Let's bring in Peter Haralambous, also our Brian Buckmeyer. Guys, what do we know?
Yeah, Kira, this just happened literally a minute ago in court. Prosecutors rested after calling 3 witnesses for their rebuttal case. In total, this jury has heard 21 days of testimony. They've heard from a combined 84 different witnesses. Closing arguments at this point are scheduled to begin tomorrow morning. The jury has just been sent home for the day, and lawyers are going to stick around for a charge conference where they basically argue about how the jury should be instructed about the law.
Brian, what do you think? Has the prosecution been doing a good job at poking holes in Clancy's defense?
I mean, to answer the question directly, yes, I think they have done a good job. But don't forget, in a case like this, where we're looking at prosecution, defense kind of being in the same place, maybe it's my bias as a defense attorney, but I think that's a very good place for the defense, because oftentimes you feel like it's an uphill battle as a defense attorney to represent your client, to make the arguments that they need to show reasonable doubt or even assert a defense. But right now, I get the feeling that they're on equal footing, and Kevin Reddington, the defense attorney in this case, has been hammering witnesses after witnesses, and I expect his closing argument to be probably the strongest part of his case, where the prosecution has been leading their witness for the most part and not really showing the strength as we've seen on the other side of this courtroom.
All right, so Peter, what can we expect with closing arguments, you think?
Yeah, if you ask Kevin Reddington, he says to expect fireworks. And I think one thing that's telling about his argument, and he's kind of been arguing that prosecutors are callous, that they're inconsiderate in terms of the struggles that Clancy was going through, was actually look at the way he ended his last cross-examination of this prosecution witness. So this is that FBI psychiatrist. And what Reddington did was actually quote prosecutors' opening statement. This is the opening statement from 5 weeks ago, where one of the prosecutors said that Clancy was looking for a, quote, a quick and easy fix, that she was deliberate and intentional, and that she did not want to try anymore, that she made, quote, a selfish choice to take Cora Dawson and Callan with her. When asked about that quote from prosecutors, this expert witness for the prosecutors acknowledged that that statement from prosecutors was really minimizing what Clancy was going through. Quite a way to leave the jury today.
All right. Well, Brian, the defense is arguing postpartum psychosis, and that's what made Lindsay Clancy not criminally responsible. What exactly does the jury have to find under Massachusetts law to actually accept that defense?
So the jury would have to accept that at the time in which Lindsay Clancy killed her 3 children, not necessarily before, not necessarily after, but at the time when she did it, she did not understand nor have the ability to understand right from wrong or conform her actions to being right. That she perceived that strangling and killing her children was either not the horrible thing that we all know it to be and we all criminalize, that being killing another, especially killing children, but she thought it was something else based on the diagnosis of postpartum psychosis. And I think the defense have done a good job of being persuasive. When we look at the ability to persuade, especially from law school, we think about it from 3 different ways. We think about the credibility of the person speaking to you, the emotional impact that you have, and the logical arguments that you make. It's Aristotle's idea of ethos, pathos, and logos. And I think the defense has a lot of those in their closing arguments. For me, I'm looking at the prosecution to see like how they're going to push back on this defense that the defendants have made.
Peter, Brian, a lot happening in the moment here. We'll stay in close touch. And of course, if you or someone you know is in a mental health crisis, you can text or call the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Help is available 24/7. We will take a deeper dive into this case in our new show, Burden of Proof, as well. It airs right here on ABC News every weekday, 5:30 and 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You can also watch it on demand on Disney+, Hulu, or wherever you listen to your podcast by searching Burden of Proof.